Honestly, at this point, they could just cast Nicolas Cage as Superman again, and I wouldn't even complain. This man is just such a good actor. Hello everyone and welcome to the 3-Style review for Renfield. Now, going into this movie, I thought it looked alright. The trailer didn't do anything special for me, but yeah, I thought it'd be a fun time, and I was actually really pleasantly surprised. So starting with the positives, the cast do a perfect job of playing into like the exact sort of performance you would need to give with a movie and a script like this. The tone of this movie is really specific. I don't even know quite how to describe it. It's a unique experience for sure. This is the only movie where Nicolas Cage would fit as Dracula, but it's worked in so well. He does such a good job. I just had a blast watching him. It's not something I ever thought I'd witness in a movie, but I'm really glad I did. Also, his chemistry with Nicholas Hoult, who also gives a great performance, is just pitch perfect. Now, obviously, everyone's going to be talking about how good these two are, but I wanted to point out Awkwafina and especially Ben Schwartz. I feel like he's going to be really underrated, but I loved his performance. Obviously, it was quite a jump hearing him as the voice of Sonic in the two movies, going from that to this, but his comedic timing is just so well done. And yeah, everyone gives just such a strong comedic performance. The jokes land, I would say, like 9 out of 10 times. So yeah, this is probably the funniest movie I've seen all year. Now, secondly, again, I think this is something a lot of people are going to be talking about, but I actually wasn't expecting, and that's the action sequences. From the one trailer that I saw, I had no idea this movie was going to be like violent at all. Never mind seeing Nicholas Hoult rip off someone's arms and then use them to beat people to death, seeing Dracula slice people in half, seeing people get exploded into. It was just so much fun, and the style of it, again, it felt unique. It didn't feel like your typical gory violent movie. It was done in such a fun way, and just visually it looked and felt unique to me. I don't really know how to describe it. I feel like you just have to watch the movie and find out. It was so over the top. Is just I had a blast. Now again, sort of leaning into that, something I was really impressed with here that I don't usually put too much stock in, which is probably a bad habit of mine and something I should focus on more. And that's the practical effects, the makeup, the prosthetics. Everything here was so well done. There was a particular scene of Dracula where he's a bit messed up. You'll know what I mean if you've seen the movie. It's towards the beginning. And I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was so well done. I feel like a lot of the time this is stuff that would just be CGI and it'd be looked over and it probably wouldn't look that great. But I feel like they put a lot of love and attention to detail into the practical stuff here, and it really worked. It's a really nice breath of fresh air, especially coming off of CGI heavy, MCU movies, and the fact that they haven't been looking that great recently. Now, in terms of negatives, yeah, this movie's by no means perfect. I think one big thing that a lot of people are going to notice is not necessarily the pacing, because it's very fast and it's very entertaining, but more so the flow of the plot, and like just the flow of scene to scene. It can feel quite jarring. It feels like you're jumping in between these three different plots with not too much thought put into the actual editing of the movie. The blending of the different storylines definitely could have been done better. It didn't really affect my enjoyment of the film, because as I say, the fast pace covers up for it in a way. But it's something I wanted to point out regardless. And that brings me on to the next point I want to make, which is the different plot lines. None of them are really fleshed out as much as I would like them to be. It's a hard one because I really enjoyed the fast pace and the fact that we got through everything pretty quickly. So much so that when the movie ended, I was like, that was an hour and a half? Really? Because it felt like an hour. But yeah, despite that, it definitely feels like there was a lot of depth that was missing. Maybe there was a lot left on the cutting room floor. It would have been nice to see more from the relationship between Dracula and Renfield, more from the relationship between Renfield and Rebecca, and just the whole crime family corrupt police department plot as well. I would have liked to see more from. None of it's necessarily done badly, but it just all feels very surface level and very basic. Now, finally, this is more of a, personal preference thing rather than an actual criticism, but Dracula gets kind of sidelined for the second half of the movie. And just because I was loving Nicolas Cage in the role so much, I would have liked to have seen more of him, but I definitely take what I got. So yeah, overall, I can't believe I love this movie as much as I did. I went in with, you know, really middle of the road expectations, but it very much surprised me. I'd say if you have a group of friends that you could go see this with, definitely do it. You're gonna have a great time. I would say Renfield is definitely a reliable rewatch. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to check out my socials and my other links in the description. And I will see you guys in a blur.